Hey everybody, it's Sunday again and happy Thanksgiving. Today is the Sunday after Thanksgiving, so that means it is November the 26th. And if you're watching this on Sunday, November the 26th, this is a live chat. I did have somebody complain last week that this was a live chat. She actually got a teeny bit upset. She said, why would anybody even do that? Why would somebody sit and talk to people, back and forth? So yeah, if you're watching this and it's not during the live chat, and hello to Sheila, Cheryl, Carla, Kim, Joyce. If you're watching this later, not during the live chat, and this irritates you, again, not being mean, but you need to head on down the road because this is a live chat. Hey Kim, hey Lynn, hey Debbie, and yes, happy Thanksgiving everybody. Hey Sybil. So, did everybody have a great Thanksgiving? I want to hear what everybody did. Hey Andrea, hey Nancy, hey Melanie. So we had, hey Dorothy, we had on Thanksgiving Day, we didn't actually have a big Thanksgiving meal. And we'll talk about Thanksgiving and going back and tracking again here in just a second. Hey Cynthia, hey Cheryl, and hey Karen, and hey Janet. But while everybody's kind of checking in, I was just going to tell you all about our weekend. Hey Bobby. And so we didn't have a traditional Thanksgiving on Thursday, but John and I did pick up Cracker Barrel to go, which I highly recommend, just in case you ever have to do that for a holiday. Hey Tedders, hey Tammy. But then on Friday, Casey and hey Charlene, hello, they're Knoxville girl, and hey Claudie. So Casey and I went Black Friday shopping, and I walked Casey until she was about to drop. I walked her until she was about to drop. And I was just getting ready to mention that we had my bestest friend. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Okay, Andrea says, I'm not going to lie. The YouTube disclosure is one of my favorite parts. Oh, okay. She says that the YouTube disclosure is one of her favorite parts. Hey, Kim. Hey, Kim and Kim. We got dueling Kims again today. Yeah, so that YouTube disclosure is one of her favorite parts. And hey, Judy, and hey, Brandy. Because it's so funny. Because people, I very obviously say at the beginning of this, that at the very beginning of it I say this is a live chat. I'm going to be talking to people, and if you don't like to hear me talking to people, go and watch. You can go watch something else. I'm not holding you here against your will. And yet somebody again said, why would you even do that? So being the kind soul that I am, instead of getting upset, I said, why don't you join us? Because I thought, hey Lisa, I thought, hey, if she joins us, for one of the live chats, then she'll know why we do it. But anyway, so today, so we've had the busiest 4 days off. I'm gonna sidetrack for a second. Pam, this is Pam's first time here, so everybody say hello to Pam. Hey Kristen. This is funny, and we have a Kristen and then a Christine, so y'all are just trying to throw me off. But yeah, it's Pam's first time here, so everybody say hi to Pam. But yeah, we just had the busiest 4 days off ever. So we have crammed, and hey Lisa, we have crammed things into this weekend. And then today, my bestest friend Melanie, she's been my best friend since I was 9, she threw Casey a baby shower. And it was a wonderful, wonderful shower. And yes, we ate too much. And it was funny because one of the girls that was there, and she'll probably join us. And so Melanie, my bestest friend ever, Melanie, is on here tonight. So everybody say hi to Melanie. She just threw Casey the best baby shower ever. We had so much fun. And I'm shocked that we did not run her husband out of the house because we were hooping and hollering. We were having a good time. But it was so funny because one of the other girls that joins us almost every Sunday night, she held her plate up and she said, hey, Kelly, how many points is on my plate? Well, I started calculating it for her. And then she was like, no, I didn't really want to know. So yeah, don't ask me to calculate the points on your plate if you don't want to know how many points are on there. Hey, Pat. So anyway, we had the baby shower today. It was awesome and amazing, but I'm exhausted. I know Melanie is too, but yeah, I'm exhausted. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, I'm not sure we're going to make it the entire hour tonight. I'll try my best to keep talking because I do love to talk, but I've already been talking a whole lot. One of the things we did at the shower, Melanie had some really fun games. One of them, we had to put a paper plate on top of her head and draw a picture of the baby and what we thought the baby was going to look like. And let's just say mine didn't even look human. It was pretty hysterical. And then one of the other games, we did a Price is Right game. So yeah, as usual, I've already been talking for 2 hours, and now here we are. We're going to talk again for another hour. But anyway, Melanie did send me home with a gallon-size Ziploc bag of grapes and an entire tray of leftover vegetables. So she's trying to keep me on the straight and narrow for tomorrow. She is trying to get me back on track from Thanksgiving. So talking about Thanksgiving, how did everybody do this week? Did everybody have a holiday one day? Did everybody have a holiday instead of a holiday weekend? So how many people kept their Thanksgiving festivities? So I'm just saying, eating out of the ordinary, eating extra things, whatever. How many people kept their Thanksgiving holiday to one day? If you kept it to one day, let me see a thumbs up. So let me see how many of y'all did that. So I have, so we only had the actual Thanksgiving. Oh, and Bobby says she kept it to a holiday meal. So she only splurged, for one meal. Okay, so looks like quite a few of you just kept it to one day. But how many of you actually tracked? And remember, it's not a bad thing if you didn't track. You didn't have to track. I mean, it's one day. And remember, Thanksgiving is the day in the U.S. that we eat the most, only to be seconded by Super Bowl Sunday. But so for Thanksgiving, that's our biggest, that's the biggest eating day of the year for the U.S. So how many of you tracked? If you actually tracked, let me see a heart. So on Thanksgiving Day, I did track. So I'm going to give myself a heart because I don't think I can do a heart from here anyway. So I can't do a heart. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself a heart because I tracked. And on Thanksgiving Day, we went over and had, yeah, Linda says it's hard to track when others are cooking. Exactly right. And I missed something. So why did people say, oh no, Casey, that's not good? But anyway, so I did track on Thanksgiving Day. We went over Thanksgiving morning and made breakfast for, and yeah, hey Taylor, we were just talking about you, Taylor. You just missed it. You'll have to go back later and watch and see what I said about you. But anyway, so Taylor was at the shower. So yeah, anyway, so we went over and made breakfast for Casey and Alan and okay, they must be talking. I'm sorry. They must be talking about Casey's eating because she's saying I'm 8 months pregnant. Yeah, that's why she's been eating so much. And Taylor says I get to see you 2 times in a day. Lucky me. So Taylor, seriously, sometime you're gonna have to come over here and do the live chat so I can have a guest appearance by Taylor on here. But anyway, so yeah, so I did track. We made breakfast for Casey and Ellen that morning. We made French toast and then kept it to fruits and vegetables throughout the day and extra water. And then we had we picked up the Cracker Barrel, the Thanksgiving meal that Cracker Barrel has. So thankfully, Cracker Barrel has almost all of everything that was in their Thanksgiving meal. They had it listed, they have it listed in some form or fashion. They don't have it listed as that meal, but they have it in some form or fashion on the Weight Watchers app. So I was able to keep Thanksgiving Day to 55 smart points, which I didn't think was bad. Trust me, there have been years that on Thanksgiving Day that I have spent 55 smart points on a meal, just on one meal, and then continued to eat, not even just one meal, like on just dessert. Yeah, there's been plenty of times that I've done that. So I didn't think 55 was too bad. So how many of you made a substitution for something on Thanksgiving? So I see that Lisa had mashed cauliflower instead of potatoes. She says, she had lots of veggies, a little turkey, a little stuffing, and she used Sara Lee bread for her toast. Yeah, and Cheryl says because it came up lots of Vegas. Yeah, not lots of Vegas, Cheryl, I don't think. Although lots of Vegas would have been fun for Thanksgiving. But so how many of y'all made a substitution? How many of y'all substituted something that you would normally eat and made a substitution for it on Thanksgiving? Oh, Donna says she used butternut squash instead of sweet potatoes. That's awesome. And Lisa, your autocorrect has corrected it to Vegas again. I know you mean veggies, but yeah, it's corrected it to Vegas again. And Nancy made the Weight Watchers crustless pumpkin pie. So how did that turn out? I've seen several people that have made the crustless pumpkin pie. But so how many of you used one of the tools that we talked about? How many of you used your fist and counted it as a cup. I'm seeing lots of good ones here. You know, Shanna says she used plain sweet potatoes instead of candied yams. Trina brought her own food to the dinner. Karen just ate everything that she, ate 2 tablespoons of everything that she liked. I think that's an awesome idea. Linda ate delicata squash. And if y'all notice, can you see them? Our Trader Joe's restocked. So I bought 6, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Our Trader Joe's restocked, so I bought 6 delicata squash because I'm planning on eating a lot of squash this week. But how many of you used one of your tools? How many of you used your fist to measure something that was a cup? Yep, Bobby used her fist, good idea. How many of you remember, do you remember what this is? This size of your thumb? That's approximately an ounce. Was there anybody that used that to measure anything? Anybody that used the tip of their thumb to measure? That's about a tablespoon. Do y'all remember that? Yeah, so how many of you all use that? I use it all the time. I use those all the time. Of course I do sometimes take my tools with me. And, you know, I've gotten pretty good at, you know, at guesstimating some things. Yeah. And Brandy says that delicata squash equals life. You are exactly right, Brandy. I am addicted to that stuff now. And Lisa had Halo Top for her dessert while everybody else was eating pies. How awesome is that? Okay, Janet wants to know what the squash is that we keep talking about. So, y'all know me. I'm super happy to sidetrack and get off on something else. So let me just show you one. Actually, these are both delicata squash, even though they look very different. Yeah, delicata squash looks like this, and I have no idea if it's regional. It seems like a pretty good selection of girls around the country have been finding them. I will say this, what I do think is regional was my ability to sell out the delicata squash. So here in Knoxville, when I started talking about them, I had never had one until this year. And if you want to see how to make them, or how I make them, if you go to my blog, www.ifyouhaveanegg.com, and search for the delicata squash recipe, I make mine in the air fryer. I know a lot of girls in our If You Have an Egg Facebook group, they bake them in the oven. So I've seen them, made several ways. I do mine both. I make them the savory kind half the time and the sweet kind. I prefer the sweet kind. John preferred the savory kind. Dusty loved them, and I did have somebody concerned that I was feeding them to Dusty. Delicata squash, winter squash, hard winter squash is okay for dogs, and he ate the sweet kind, and it didn't have anything that was dangerous for dogs. I did have that question this week too. But anyway, so I managed to sell Knoxville out of delicata squash. So I don't know, and I'm seeing that they have it in Connecticut, they have it in Texas, they have it in Central Texas. And again, I make mine in the air fryer, and my recipe is on the blog. It's www.ifyouhaveanegg.com, and the recipe's on there. And I think I even put, if I'm not mistaken, I think I even put a video on there. So if that makes it any easier, you know, to be able to look it up. And hey, Mary, there's my Mary. And Lacey wants to know what they taste like. So John's not a big squash eater, but he thought it tasted sort of like potatoes, like soft potatoes. They do have a little bit of a starchy taste, but they're not a starch. Hey, Lori. But they're not, okay. And Cheryl's counting the time. Cheryl said 8:13, LOL, because I didn't ask for a timekeeper tonight. So all I need tonight is, and thank you for putting up the website, Casey. But so tonight, all I need is somebody to tell me when it's time to go to bed, because I'm tired. Again, we've had the busiest 4 days off from work ever. Like, I'm almost ready to go back to work so I can rest. I'm just kidding. But anyway, so the delicata squash tastes sort of like potatoes, but not really. And they're soft, and you don't have to peel them. So you just slice them, seed them, cut them into strips, and then again, some people are baking them, and I've been air frying them. Really soft, really delicious, and they do taste good. Again, savory or sweet. I prefer sweet. Okay, so tools. You all use your tools this weekend, I hope. And I hope everybody remembers this was a holiday. It was a holiday. It was not a holla weekend, and it's not a holla week, and it's not and hey, Vicki, and it's not a, holla month. It was one day. We're going to talk about more holidays coming up in just a second, but the first thing is we're going to go over what we had in our weekly this week. So this week, the Weight Watchers Weekly, if you attend meetings, or if you're doing Weight Watchers online, then you had access to the weekly. And yes, YouTube people, it's backwards. You don't need to tell me. And yes, it's a live chat too, YouTube people. But it was, what are you thankful for? Why and how to cultivate gratitude for the little things. So how many? Hey, Brandy. So how many of you attended a meeting this week? It was Thanksgiving week. So if you attended, you should have gotten 2 marks. If you attend and Janice had a holo week. It's okay, Janice. Just start over. Don't let this run on. Don't let it extend on. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But how many of you attended a physical meeting this week? Give me a thumbs up, or the heart that just went by. So thumbs up if you attended a physical meeting this week. And if you attended a physical meeting, you should have your leader should have marked 2 places in the little book that we're doing right now for the charm. So so Karen and I have already earned our charm because we've already gotten 4 out of the 6 little spots filled in. But we can't have the charm yet because it has to do with the new program. So let's sidetrack and talk about the new program, because y'all know how I love to sidetrack. So let's sidetrack and talk about the new program for a second. I already see a couple of people saying, did you get an email? So for those of you who got an email, again, if you're a physical meeting attender or you're on the monthly pass, then you should have gotten monthly pass, or you've got eTools, or you're online only. You should have gotten an email. And so yeah, and Debbie says she's already gotten hers for the secret charm. So the reason it's a secret charm, which I think is hilarious that they let us go ahead and get, have the things filled in, but we can't have our charm yet, and we can't see it, we can't have it, and we can't know anything about it until the new program's released. So yeah, I think that's hilarious. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be drinking a lot tonight because I talked for 3 hours, 2 hours during the shower and a little bit before that. So if you got the new program email, it basically says that we're going to have more freedom to eat delicious and satisfying food. Sounds good. More flexibility for the days that you need it most. Also sounds good. Less counting and more living. That's another clue. Y'all know how I like a scavenger hunt. So I think that's another clue that makes me still believe that this is going to be a blend between Simply Feeling and Smart Points. This is another reason why I think it's going to be a blend of those two. So I think we're going to be leaning more towards the Simply Feeling plan, and only counting the things that have points, which is more like Simply Feeling. But again, that's just me. And I am trying not to look on the UK site because notoriously, or I don't know if notoriously is the right word, but historically their plan has been a little bit different than ours. Don't know why they let theirs come out a whole month before ours did. I do not want anybody sneaking over there and peeking. If you go over there and peek and look just to see, because again, I do like a good scavenger hunt and I like some clues along the way until I get my surprise. But I don't want anybody to take any of the information from the UK unless you're in the UK and you already have your program. So if there's anybody watching from the UK, it's okay to use your own program. But any of you US girls, I don't want you sneaking over there and looking at it and thinking that it's okay to do some of that stuff. A few of the things, like several of the things that I eat every day, appear to be moving to 0 points. I can't go ahead and count them as 0 points now. I cannot go ahead and move to what I think the new program is going to be because I don't have the information for me yet. Remember, Weight Watchers this is designed with you in mind. I promise there will be, or I don't promise, but I'm confident that there will be like a new survey, or it'll take the data that we've been putting in, your age and current weight and, and things like that into account before it tells you what your new program is going to be. So please do not just take this as blanket information if you go, and look on the UK site. But I think less counting and more, more living is going to be helpful for some people. Yeah, and Judy says she's heard on the chat on the UK site that they are keeping Simply Feeling along with the new program. Seriously, I think it's going to be a blend of the two. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, though. Don't forget, login and password. If you have not already located your login and password, you're late, because I've been telling you to do that for probably 2 or 3 weeks now. There are, oh gosh, I looked it up. How many was it? 1.2 million or 1.3 million people. It's over 1 million people will all be trying to log in that first week when everything changes. You are going to have to re-log in. Even though you've saved your username and your password, you're going to have to re-log in again to get all the new things. And that takes place the first week of December. Yours is going to switch whatever your first weigh-in day of that week is. So and Rachel's saying lots of people can't find your chat. Rachel, I can't click out and go find them, so I don't know where they are. I mean, is it people from our from the If You Have an Egg group? If it is, if somebody could go over there and kind of direct them to where we are, I can't click and go look for them, or I'll lose you all. But anyway, so there are over. Thank you, Rachel. So there are over 1 million people that are going to be logging in that week. And again, it's the first week of December, and it's whatever your login day is. So if your login day is on Sunday, then that week, that first week of December, then you're going to get all of your information on Sunday. You're going to get your new program materials on Sunday. You'll get everything. You'll re-log in. You'll start tracking on that Sunday. If it's Monday, if it's Tuesday, so like mine is Tuesday. So Tuesday, and we keep going over what day of the week that is, but I think mine's December the 5th. If I'm not mistaken. I think Sunday's the 3rd, Monday's the 4th, and Tuesday's the 5th. So I won't get all of my new things until December the 5th. So mine'll be a week from Tuesday. That's when I'll get all of my information. So I do highly recommend that you attend a meeting that first week. If you are a monthly pass holder, then it should just be like normal. I'm sorry, let me keep talking about the login and password. So over 1 million people are going to be trying to log in that first week. And, you know, probably 500,000 of those people didn't watch the chat the last 3 weeks when, when I've been talking about finding your login and password. So, yeah. You got to have it. They're not going to have enough tech support people. And okay, we're all adults. We need to go ahead and have our login and password ready. Please do not rely on them to have however many tech people that would take to help all of us log in. Go ahead and have it ready. You don't need to be one of the 500,000 people that are, they're going to be asking for tech support to help with that. So, yeah. Don't say I didn't tell you so. I've been telling you for 3 weeks you need to have it. You need to have it in. And Lisa says I'm correct on the day, so good. So anyway, it's that first week of December again. Attend a meeting if at all possible. If you are a monthly pass member, then you can go to as many meetings as you want to that week. If you need some extra information, or and Cheryl logs in daily, so she already knows her login and password, so she's good to go. And Myrna wants to know if you can go to an earlier meeting. You can go to an earlier meeting. Just know that your eTools is not going to be updated, and you'll need to pay for whichever meeting that you go to. If it's not your normal meeting, you'll still have to pay unless you're a monthly pass holder, and then you can go again to as many meetings as you want to. If you are online only and you go to a meeting, pretty please check in. Hey Tanya, pretty please check in and let them fill out their paperwork. So they need to fill out guest paperwork for you so that they can get credit for you attending. So please check in. Don't just sneak in and sit in the back and try to gather all the information. So okay, so again, first week of December, everybody's going to go to a meeting, right? Everybody's already going to have their login and password. They're going to be ready to go. And hey, Kathy. So we are all, and I already saw some people, so we are all fingers crossed that the app's not going to explode or blow up, or whatever. Yeah, so let's, here's to hoping for that. If the app does blow up, just stay on your regular points that you were on before. Don't try to do anything new, And if you can't think of anything to eat, just go to my Pinterest and find things under the normal Smart Points system and just hang out on that. That's all, that's all I know to tell you. But anyway, hopefully they're prepared. It sounds like they've been testing it. It sounds like the beta's been working, great in the UK. So hang in there. I think it'll be fine. Also, that week, that will be I'll get the meeting information and the new program information on Tuesday, December the 5th. Then on Sunday, December the 10th, that is our 50th chat. So that'll be chat number 50. Not pretty much, all we're going to discuss on chat number 50 is the new program. So that's all we're going to talk about on December the 10th. And maybe, if everything still works out, we're going to try to have that chat live from downtown Disney, it's not downtown Disney, so sorry, Disney Springs in Orlando, Florida. I haven't decided the location yet. We've been talking about maybe Blaze Pizza, if they'll let me set up. And so I guess we'll be checking into that this week. I know, and Debbie's laughing because Debbie knows exactly what I mean. Yeah, sorry, we can't stop calling it downtown Disney, but anyway, Disney Springs. And let's see. Okay, Tanya, I didn't understand your question, but anyway, so chat number 50 is going to be, hopefully, it's going to be from Disney Springs. Yeah, and Samantha says it'll always be downtown Disney. Yeah, that's true. To us diehard people. So if you happen to be in Orlando on December the 10th, and I will have already announced where I'll be, where we'll be set up. So hopefully if we're doing that, then you can come by and see us. Okay, so let's get off the new program, because December the 10th, that's all we're going to be talking about. That's all we're going to be talking about is the new program. So my two biggest things, again, login and password. Have it ready. Okay, so let's go back to this last week. So this was our weekly this week. Again, it was what are you thankful for, why and how to cultivate gratitude for the little things. So people who attended the meeting, you should have gotten one of these. And yes, YouTubers, I know it's backwards, but so we get a weekly every week. And if you attend meetings, if you miss a week, your leaders should have some extras of these. You should be able to ask the receptionist if you're meeting if you can have one. They are also available online. So if you have e-tools or if you're an online member, you can get these online and you can download them in a PDF format. And so like today is already the PDF is already online for the next week's topic. So always grab one of these, always, keep them on hand. And I keep them. I have every one of them and I write notes in them. So like here's the one from the week before. And then upstairs I have the one from the week before that, and the one from the week before that, and the one from the week before that. Believe it or not, I do go back and look at them sometimes, especially if I've written notes, in the section that they left available for notes. So before we start talking about holidays again, in last week's meeting we talked about cultivating an attitude of gratitude. So can anybody tell me, anybody who doesn't have a fabulous leader like we do, like Gwen, can anybody tell me why you think it might be a good idea to find little things to be thankful for? And by little things, I mean obviously like today, like this week. So for Thanksgiving, we were thankful for family and we were thankful for health. And we were thankful that my mom got to come to the Thanksgiving that we had on Saturday. And we were thankful for Casey's shower today. Okay, so those are big things. So why do you think that it could be important though to cultivate an attitude of gratitude for little things? And by little things, I mean like I said in the weekly, for being able to enjoy your first cup of coffee in the morning. So I know I'm super thankful for that. A hot shower. We pass people every day. We live in downtown Knoxville, and so we pass people every day that don't get to take a shower every day. And so we are, so every morning when we walk and we see them, then I come back, and when it's time for me to take a shower, I'm thankful that I have hot water and I've got it, access is available and I can have it on demand, if I want to take a shower. But some little things. So why do you think that it would be important to cultivate that? So hopefully y'all are answering a couple of things. I see a few things going up. So there are many, according to the Weight Watchers Weekly, there are many benefits to having a strong sense of gratitude. And again, remember, that's about the little things. It's easy to be happy about the big things. But this is about just about the little things. It can increase life satisfaction and overall well-being and reduce stress. Oh, hold on a second. Popcorn Karen's here. How are you doing? How is your hip? Is your hip? Everybody say hi to Popcorn Karen. It's spelled K-A-R-A-N. So everybody say hi. Yeah, we've all been praying for you and your hip. Of course, you have the best caretaker ever. If any of us are ever sick, we need to ask for Tomas to come and take care of us. Because I know he's been waiting on you hand and foot. I know he is. But anyway, it's very good to see you. Yeah, and Tedders and Karen can have some surgery discussion things going on around here. But we're very happy that you're here, and we're glad that you're feeling well. See, we're thankful. We're thankful that Karen is feeling well. So that's one of the things that we're thankful for. But yeah. Anyway, so people who practice gratitude say that they sleep longer and have a better quality sleep. So remember what we talked about a couple of chats ago? It was probably 4 or 5 chats ago maybe, when we were talking about sleep and how much it helps with your weight loss efforts and your decision making and things like that. So having an attitude of gratitude can help you sleep. It can help you to sleep better, sleep longer, and to have a better quality of sleep. So that's like a win-win. Practicing gratitude can help us cope with challenges and setbacks. So if you just stop and think a minute, okay, great, the lot changed before, before I could get through, I'm gonna have to sit here and wait. But then you see an accident down the road and you think, wow, I'm really thankful that lot changed when it did. Or, I don't know, an indicator light comes on your car. I don't know why I'm picking on cars right now, but an indicator light comes on in your car and, and you get irritated. Really? An indicator light? It's time to change the oil or whatever? Be thankful for your indicator light though, because that's going to might keep your engine from blowing up, or something. And I'm sorry, Sybil says, my 11-year-old Tyler says your accent is cool and he likes it. Yeah, you should come live down here. It'll get old real fast. But anyway, and believe it or not, I can tell the difference between Southern accents from here and like South Carolina and Georgia. They sound totally different to me, totally different. Anyway, it's also been linked to increased physical activity and improved body image. So the more thankful that you are, let's see, oh no, Lynn's sister fell this afternoon in her garden and broke her hip. Oh my goodness. Well, we should put her in a room with Karen. We should put her and Karen together. I'm sorry, Lynn. But okay, not trying to be weird, but I'm thankful though that she has you all to take care of her. So see, that's a little thing to be thankful for. She should be thankful for that. But anyway, it's been linked to increased physical activity and improved body image. So I know, a lot of times when I think, oh my gosh, I've eaten too much, or my pants are so tight or whatever, I have to stop and think. But I'm thankful for the weight that I have lost, and I'm thankful that I can walk farther and that my feet don't hurt, things like that. So all of these benefits help contribute to healthy behaviors and weight loss. Even more reason to start appreciating the little things in life. So let's all practice an attitude of gratitude. So what did they want us to do? And we played with this last week, and so we're reporting back to Gwen on Tuesday. So you need to pick 3 good things. So we're just going to do a little exercise. We're not going to take much time. Cheryl was already counting me down a few minutes ago, even though I didn't need a thank you, Cheryl, even though I wasn't doing a timekeeper thing today. But see, like it's already 8:34, and I thought I'd already be pooped out by now. Just my voice is pooped out. But let's just take just a second and do this. And if you don't have anything to write with right now, just, you can do this later, or you can type it here so that we can see it. Maybe it'll help us think of something, to be thankful for, and you can go back and look at it later. So the first thing you want to do is to just think about 3 good things that happened to you today or in the last 24 hours. And maybe something small. It can be something big, but maybe something small, like getting to take a hot shower, or or like something that I was thankful for when we took Mom back to the nursing home last night. We got the girl that I like. Her name is Natalia. Well, I like several of them, but Natalia and Lynn are like the bomb. They are absolutely the bomb. If you need anything done, physically done, they're CNAs. And I kept going, please Natalia or Lynn, please Natalia or Lynn, and please Natalia or Lynn, because my mom is completely non-ambulatory right now, and so you have to, even though she thinks she can walk, and she'll tell you, oh, I've been walking when nobody's looking. She's not walking when nobody's looking, but but I was going, please Natalia or Lynn, please Natalia or Lynn. And so I went in, was kind of looking around, kind of peeping around because I was by myself. John and Alan went to get her. First of all, thankful for that. I'm thankful that my husband and son-in-law love me and my mom enough to go pick her up, because it wasn't a huge ordeal, but it's kind of a big deal. So so I was very thankful for them. And then when I went in, I started looking for one of the nurses, and I heard behind me, need a lift or need a ride, and I turned around, and there was Natalia with the wheelchair, and I was like, yes, thank you. So I was very thankful that we got Natalia. And then it was the cutest thing when we got out to the car. She said, is that Miss Green's car? She's got a yellow Volkswagen Beetle. And she said, is that Miss Green's car? And I said, yeah, that's her car. And she goes, I knew it. She goes, I knew when your husband pulled up in it earlier today that had to be her car. So I'm thankful for Natalia and the little things that she does for me and my mom. And so 3 things. So Casey listed her 3 things. I saw them go by. I'll obviously read them later. But so think about your 3 things. And again, it can be something small. It can be something big. Another one of my small things is that we have, well, I don't guess this is small, but it seems small, but I don't think about the fact that I live somewhere where it's safe to walk. I know there's a lot of you all that have to drive somewhere. You have to go somewhere where there's a track, or somewhere where it's, you can't just walk out your door and start walking. And again, we live in downtown Knoxville, absolutely not a problem. We walk out, start walking. I can walk early in the morning. We can walk later at night. So, so we have a safe place to walk. But anyway, so find your 3 things, whatever your 3 things are, and then either here in the chat, Cheryl said she weighed in today and she's lost 2.6 pounds, finally got into the 170s. She's thankful for warm clothes and her online groups for support and encouragement. That's awesome. And of course, Popcorn Karen says thankful for hubby. Yeah, I would say so. And I'm thankful that John didn't just fall and hurt himself just now because he hit the step. Anyway, and I'm thankful that John is home tonight. So he's been home all weekend, which is unusual. Anyway, so either write them down here or write them down on a piece of paper later, whatever you want to do. So writing them down solidifies them, and it helps to anchor it. So has anybody heard of anchors? We had, and I don't have mine here on my island, but we had, gosh, it's been probably a year and a half ago at our meetings, we were talking about anchors, and we were talking about physical things that, and that's funny, Lacey just asked how is Dusty. Dusty's awesome, and he's actually out here tonight, so we will see him before the end of tonight's chat. But we had anchors, and so it was funny because Gwen gave us the weirdest little things to be anchors, or like you got to pick what you wanted, and it was like a paper clip, a piece of string, I don't know, it was weird little things, but it was just little things that she wanted you to use that as your anchor that week. And so anytime you just needed to stop and think about, I'm doing great, I'm smart, I can do this, I'm worth it, I'm worth the time, whatever, you were supposed to touch your anchor. But writing these things down, or like one anchor for me is my ring of charms that I've collected from Weight Watchers. It's on my purse. So sometimes if I'm standing looking at something and I'm going, ice cream or that low-fat yogurt parfait, ice cream, low-fat yogurt parfait, trying to decide which one I'm going to get. And this is so weird, but sometimes I'll fondle. I'll just reach down, because I've got my purse hanging here, and I'll just reach down and fondle my charms, and then we make that little jingling noise. Sometimes it works and it snaps me back to reality, and I'm like, I will take that low-fat yogurt parfait, please, Alex, for 8 smart points or whatever, instead of this 20-point ice cream. But anyway, writing the things down helps to anchor them, so it helps you to stop, to start thinking about them and to get into the practice of doing that. And then after you've written your 3 things down, write down how it made you feel, how it made you feel about whatever that experience was. So the being able to take a hot shower thing, it makes, of course, I'm thankful for the hot shower, but it makes me feel good. It makes me feel clean. I don't know, I just feel better when I'm clean. So that's one of my things that I'm thankful for, and I love how it makes me feel. So I love that you all are doing this. I'm not going to read every single one of them tonight. I'm not going to read them all out because we've got this many more things to talk about. I don't know why I thought I'd be done in less than an hour. But anyway, so keep posting them though, because I promise I do go back and read them. I'm not going to read them tonight. Kind of tired from the shower. So not going to read them tonight. Okay, so while we're being thankful for things, I also named this chat HoliDAYs, and the day was big. So how many of you celebrate Christmas? What? Oh, sorry. Something must have happened. Some football something must have happened, because John just spoke for the first time in a while. And he's trying to watch, he's watching a football game silently with no sound on. So y'all may get to hear some, I don't know, commentary in the background. But anyway, and UT hired a new coach today. So we're just not going to comment on that, because I don't know who it is and I don't know how to feel about it yet. So we're not going to talk about that one yet. But anyway, so how many of you all celebrate Christmas? I know we're not all U.S. here. I don't know how many, I don't know if we've got anybody from outside of the U.S. watching. Don't know, I know we've got several Jewish friends on here. We've got some, I don't know what everybody's celebrating. So just because I celebrate Christmas, I'm going to ask about that in particular, because I've got those numbers, I've had those numbers written down. So if you celebrate Christmas, give me a thumbs up. If you're celebrating something else, oh, is it Packers versus Steelers? Because your daughter is watching that too. Yes? No? Yes. Okay. So Casey and her father are both watching the chat, and they're both watching the Packers and Steelers games. So go figure. Okay. How many of you, so if you celebrate something besides Christmas, give me a heart, do some hearts, and you heart people if you don't mind to comment what you are celebrating, what other holiday besides Christmas you're celebrating, because I have questions. I have questions just because I don't know and I have a curious mind. Okay, so if you celebrate Christmas, you have 29 days until Christmas. Did you know that? It comes at the same time every year. Did it sneak up on anybody? Is it sneaking up on anybody just like it does me? But that's 29 days. So you have 29 days until Christmas, if that's what you celebrate. And then you have 36 days until New Year's. So as of this chat, it's not the same amount of time. I was trying to make it the same amount of time between Thanksgiving and New Year's every single year this year, when John reminded me that Thanksgiving is not on the 25th or whatever every year. It's on the third Saturday. Anyway, so third Thursday. So anyway, that didn't work out so well on the math for that. But this year in particular, we have 36 days until New Year's. Okay, so why do we care? What difference does that make? How many days there are between now and New Year's? So it makes a big deal, makes a big difference, because I hear people not every day, but at least every handful of days, I hear somebody say, I gain 8 to 10 pounds every single holiday. So you know what? And the new programs getting ready to come up, and my head's not in it, and I'm not in the game. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to quit. I'm just going to go ahead and quit. And I'm not going to pay the money. I'm going to go ahead and quit. And, and Karen says, so it's 40 days till we close on our new house. Yay! So that's another Karen. So something to be thankful for, that Karen's getting ready to close on a new house in 40 days. But I hear people all the time say, I always gain 8 to 10 pounds, and I don't know why it's always 8 to 10 pounds. I don't know if that's some magic holiday number or something, but I always gain 8 to 10 pounds during the holidays. So, you know what, just to eliminate that part of the stress, I'm just going to go ahead and quit. I'm not going to spend the money, and I'll just pick it back up in January. Because by January, all the kinks will be worked out of the new program, and all the kinks will be worked out of Weight Watchers Connect, and on and on and on and on and on. And I hear all these excuses for why they're going to just go ahead and stop, and do that. So there's 36 days. Again, there's 36 days between now and New Year's Eve. Do you know how many extra calories you would have to consume? And I'm just talking calories. I'm not talking points, because it depends on what you eat as to how many you would calculate. But do you know how many extra calories you would have to eat between now and New Year's Day to actually gain that amount of weight? You have to eat 35,000 extra calories between. Oh, and Nana Norris just tuned in. I'm not sure if she wanted to be here, but hey Nana Norris. Hey Nana Carolyn. hey, if you're there, hi, Casey and I are both here. But you would have to eat 35,000 extra calories between now and New Year's. So, yeah, 35,000 extra calories if you really gained 8 to 10 pounds. So, I'm going to say this. Don't quit. Don't give up. You would never intentionally eat 35,000 extra calories. Yeah, I don't think anybody would intentionally eat that much. I don't think anybody would intentionally sabotage themselves, and I don't think anybody, you know what I mean? I don't think anybody intentionally says, forget it, I'm going to go ahead and gain the 8 to 10 pounds because somehow that's going to make my life happier. So I know there's been plenty of times that I thought food was going to make me happy, but I cannot think of a time in my life that gaining 8 to 10 pounds would make me feel happier. So I'm going to talk about something really strange for the next 14 minutes because that's what we have left. What I think happens instead, and this is Kelly, this is not Weight Watchers, this is not Weight Watchers endorsed or approved, this is just Kelly. And I'll tell you, like my Sunday school teacher says, if you call Weight Watchers and say, Kelly said, you said, that is not true because Kelly's not saying that Weight Watchers said. This is Kelly talking. So Kelly's saying that the 8 to 10 pounds that you maybe put on or think that you put on during the holidays, I'm segueing on to talking about water weight because my guess is that none of you are actually consuming 35,000 extra calories during that time period to actually put on 8 to 10 pounds. So does anybody know the difference between water weight and actual fat? Like if you are retaining water and you've gained some weight because of water weight, or if it's actually because of fat, like fat cells. So I'll give y'all just a moment. Actually, I'll take another sip of my water here and give y'all just a moment to discuss. So water weight is water, and water gets collected. It gets collected and held in your body. It gets held in your tissues. Some of your organs can hold water. Your joints can hold water. You know, like have you ever gotten up in the morning and just thought, wow, you know, my hands are stiff or my feet are stiff or whatever, and your joints were swollen? You know, that's water being held in your joints. Your body cavities themselves, like you've got places in your body where there's no other stuff. All of those body cavities, you know, can hold on to water. So that's water weight. And water weight, do you want to guess? Just between water around your organs, in your tissues, the tissues themselves, your body cavities, your joints, you know, just hanging out in those cells, you know, do you want to guess how much you can gain in just water weight? Do you know how much it can hold? Carla says she gains 2 to 4 pounds once a month. Yeah, there's everything she does, she'll still gain that week. This is exactly what we're talking about. So any guesses on how much water weight can be just hanging out in your cavities and things? And I happen to know pretty close to how much, because this is how much got drained off of my father when he was doing dialysis. And this is what they're doing in dialysis. They're draining this extra fluid off, you know, because that's hanging around, because it's hanging around their lungs, it's hanging around their heart, it's making it harder for organs. If you know anybody that's doing dialysis or that's having an actual medical condition, their feet will swell. It'll, you know, they'll swell around their extremities. But lungs is really bad. Lungs and heart, that's 2 really bad places to be holding it. Yeah, 5 to 10 pounds easy. So you can hold 5 to 10 pounds of water weight really easy. The difference between, you know, without even doing much, the difference between water weight and fat is if it's weight from actual, and I hate to keep saying fat, but if it's actual weight, like weight that you've really gained, it's not water weight, but it's weight that you've actually gained, that you have to eat, again, approximately 3,500 calories. I know 3,500 calories used to be the rule. I think, again, the way your body processes the food might make a difference on the actual caloric count, but approximately 3,500 calories equals a pound. So that means that you have taken in 3,500 calories more than you have expended. So you've eaten 3,500 calories and more than you would have, so then more than what your normal week is. You've eaten 3,500 calories more and not used 3,500 calories more. So that makes an actual pound. So my guess is that a lot of us that think that we're gaining this 8 to 10 pounds, during the holidays, we're probably gaining about 6 to 8 pounds of water weight. And I'll tell you why I think so in a second. We're gaining that much in water weight, and then maybe 2 to 3 pounds in actual weight. So if you stop and think about it just a second, if you gained 2 to 3 pounds in actual weight, you got a lot better chance of getting rid of that, after the holidays than the 8 to 10 pounds. And it's a lot easier to get rid of the water weight, and we're going to talk about that again in a second. And Carol says, you look, oh, thank you, Cheryl. She says, I look pretty tonight, and she loves my scarf. Can you tell what's on there? It's a Star Wars scarf. So yeah, we're a little bit addicted. But anyway, so if I thought that that everybody was, oh, and we have a first-time listener, first-time caller, first-time listener. It's Casey with a K. It's Kasey. So everybody tell Casey with a K hello. And my Casey's with a C, so it'll be easy to keep you two apart, to keep y'all separated. Okay. So water weight, how you can gain that. So first, don't give up through the holidays. Please do not give up on me. Even if you take a break, even if you need to do some other things to get back on track, even if you just want to try to stay steady, if you just want to try and stay, maintain a weight. And Lisa says she has Star Wars Legos taking over her home. I understand. But even if you just want to try and maintain during that time, please don't just give up and say, forget it. I'm going to gain 8 to 10 pounds anyway, so I'd give up. I'm just not going to do it. Because part of that is water weight, so please don't just give up and head in that direction. Some things that can cause this 5 to 10 pounds of water weight. First one, it seems obvious, but it's too much sodium. So too much sodium could be anything. Deli meat has a lot of sodium. Canned soups have a lot of sodium. Anything that's processed, anything that you didn't make yourself can have a lot of sodium. So guess how much sodium was in your Thanksgiving dinner? So even if you made it yourself, unless you took special care to make sure that the sodium was reduced, guess how much sodium is in an average Thanksgiving dinner? And we'll have to wrap up here soon because my voice is getting ready to go. Guess how many milligrams of sodium are in an average Thanksgiving dinner? 2,000. 2,000 in that one meal. That's more than the average person is supposed to have for an entire day, much less one meal. And that's assuming that you didn't eat any other meals, for the rest of the day. 2,000 milligrams of sodium. Yeah, that's a whole lot. It was in your average Thanksgiving meal. So what too much sodium does to your body, and again, if you've ever known anybody that was on dialysis, you can see immediately, seriously, almost immediately what it does. Your body reacts to higher levels of sodium by storing more water, because what your body's trying to do is it's trying to restore that balance. So if you have, so if you've consumed more sodium than you normally do, which we all did if we had a Thanksgiving dinner, I'm confident of that, then your body overcompensates for that by holding on to more water to try and balance that out, because it's got to balance. It's a very complicated chemical, thing across your membranes, and the sodium levels and potassium and all that kind of stuff across the membranes. So, and good night, Kim. So, and I'm not far behind you, Kim. Kim says good night, and I'm not far behind you. But anyway, so too much sodium will do it. Also, pasta and bread. There's a theory that pasta and bread help you hold on to, cause water retention. And so, that's a theory. I don't know how much truth is in that, but I've heard that pasta and bread can help you or make you retain water. Believe it or not, dehydration makes you retain water. So you would think if you were dehydrated that you would have less water, but your body starts to panic and it starts to store water in odd places to hold on to it, because it thinks that you are getting ready to be dehydrated to that point. So, sorry. So you can actually retain water when you're dehydrated. Your body will hold on to it. Hormones. Didn't we just talk about this? Like several of you just said, oh, that time of the month or whatever. Yeah. Hormones can obviously cause you to retain water. So that week, if it happens every single week that week, then don't panic. You already know what's coming. I'm going to tell you a couple of things to do to help with that, but just don't panic. You know, it's hormones. You can't do anything about it. We have them. We're girls. We have them. Most of us are girls. We have them. A lot of medications and some supplements will, yeah, Mary is thankful for hormones. But some medications and some supplements will hold on to water. And creatine is one in particular. I listed that one because creatine's what a lot of people use, like bodybuilders use it, or people use it when they're working out to help build muscle. If you're using creatine to help build muscle, please be aware it'll make you retain water. Yeah, so it's going to seem like you're gaining weight, but it's from gaining water. Good ways to get rid of it. If you exercise daily, that will help your body. It keeps all of your systems running correctly, and that will help your body to flush the extra sodium out and flush some of that extra weight out. Exercising daily doesn't mean that you have to do CrossFit, which the CrossFit people will call me now. But anyway, doesn't mean you have to do CrossFit. It doesn't mean you have to do 6 hours of PiYo. John loves the PiYo girl. It doesn't mean you have to do anything strenuous, but if you'll do some form of exercise every single day, walk for 30 minutes. If you can't walk for 30 minutes, walk 10 minutes 3 different times. Surely to goodness you can find, if you're physically able, you can find 3 different times during the day that you could walk for 10 minutes. Stand up, do, how I talk about doing, this is a little bit of exercise, doing toe lifts while you're doing things in your kitchen, mopping extra, strenuous, whateverly, but just some form of exercise, every day. Avoiding salty and high carb foods. So avoiding salty foods, simple enough. Don't add salt to anything. Well, it's not. Again, since my dad was on dialysis, and believe it or not, we had a dog that we had to make her medicine, we had to make her food every day because she was on a highly restricted sodium diet. I spent days researching all the lowest sodium things for my dad and, and for her, to be able to make her food, but the things that had the least amount of sodium in them. And so we finally got to where we were giving her medicine in Libby brand Vienna sausages because they had the lowest amount of sodium. And even though they were Vienna sausages, they had less sodium than a regular hot dog. They had less sodium than a chicken hot dog. They had less sodium than a vegan hot dog. So if you're not eating meat, vegan hot dogs are a great alternative. But she could have we weren't feeding her this, but she could have an entire can of that brand of Vienna sausages for less sodium than one vegan hot dog. So don't take it for granted. Don't just think, oh, okay, this is healthy, so it's got to be healthy in all aspects. If you have access to the, and hey, Laura says, found you, yay. So Laura, I'm sorry that I'm already choking and we'll be finishing up here soon, but at least you know how to find us now. So you'll know how to find us for next Sunday. But yeah, so check the sodium on, on everything. Question everything. Again, lunch meat, super high. Canned soups, super high. Some kinds of bottled water, I'm not saying this one in particular, but some brands of bottled water have sodium in them. So anyway, question everything. Then let's see, drinking plenty of water. A minimum of 8 cups a day. Again, it's going to keep you from being dehydrated. It's going to keep your body from holding on to the water, thinking that it's going to become dehydrated, and it also will flush that out. So I don't know if any of you all have ever done this or not, but like if I eat things that have too much sodium in them, and I can tell because, mine tends to hang out in my joints, and like my Fitbit's a little bit tight right now. I think, just because we've been eating out a lot, we've been eating away a lot, we haven't been eating at home a lot. So I've had some more, some extra sodium myself too. So tomorrow, if I spend all day drinking, large amounts of water, it's funny because it's like once your body releases it, it just like releases it. So just be near a restroom, when this happens. And, oh, Nancy won't be able to watch next Sunday because she'll be at Disneyland. Awesome. Have fun at Disneyland. I haven't been there in years. Another thing to help with your water, to help your body to keep from holding water, is protein. So if you don't get enough protein, and it doesn't have to be animal-based protein. Remember, we were talking about plant-based protein a couple of weeks ago. If you're not getting enough protein, your body will also retain water, and it can actually swell to the point that it will leak. So that was part of what was wrong with my mom last year when she got into so much medical trouble. And remember, she's vegan. Being vegan did not cause her to have this problem. She had trouble getting ahead of it though, because she wasn't getting enough protein, even plant-based protein, but she was having trouble getting ahead of it. But she, I can't think of the medical term for it right now, but she was actually weeping. So her legs were weeping and they got infected. Large amounts of protein. Doesn't have to be animal-based protein. It can be plant-based protein, but large amounts of protein will help. It just, again, it helps all your systems work, and it helps everything, all your body parts do what they're supposed to do, and it'll help flush that extra fluid out. Water-rich foods, so like fruits that have a lot of water in them. So, you know, watermelon and grapes and things like that have lots of water in them. Those are a great idea of things to, you know, if you can't get in your, drink your 8 glasses of water, your 8 cups of water, then eating some water-rich foods will help with that. Magnesium helps to reduce, these are for the girls that are having trouble that one special time a month. Magnesium is supposed to help reduce your water retention before that time of the month. And magnesium, you don't have to take a magnesium supplement. It's found in leafy green vegetables. So if you like the, I don't like kale, but I like baby kale, spinach, you know, anything that's leafy and green. Broccoli counts as that. So just look for vegetables that are high in magnesium, and maybe try to eat those. Do some extra, you know, some extra water, do some extra exercising, you know, right before that time, so that it'll help to go ahead and start flushing that out and get you prepared for it. And Sybil says she takes magnesium daily for migraines. So yeah, so it works for that too. And seriously, it may have something to do with the swelling. And Kathy says it's 9:02. How did I talk for an hour? I swear I wasn't going to talk for an hour. Real quick, potassium. Potassium is found in tomatoes, avocados, potatoes, and bananas, and it has a different kind of electrolytes. It is also electrolytes, but they act a little bit differently than sodium, so it actually helps to decrease the sodium levels. It decreases the sodium levels in your body, and it increases your urine output. So, and that's the reason when my dad was on dialysis, he couldn't eat. He couldn't have very many, but he couldn't have any bananas and not very many potatoes. He was limited on his potatoes because they had to control how much fluid he was retaining and how much urine output he had, so he was limited. So those are great things for us to consume and to do that. And somehow I managed to talk for the entire hour, even though I said I wasn't going to. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. What I want you to do for next week, because we talked about, cucumber. I'm sorry, Carol said cucumbers. Yeah, that's a very, great water-dense food. So that was a great one to eat. And it's funny because if I eat, so like during the summer, I think this is a little bit easier for me during the summer because I'm eating a ton of cucumbers, bananas, watermelon, and it's like I have to pee all the time. But it's great because then my rings are falling off, my Fitbit's falling off. Yeah, so it's great for me. Okay, so for next week's homework, then next week's homework is to have your 3 things written down. So I want you to have 3 things written down that you were thankful for. If you've already written them here tonight, homework is done. But next week we will be 1 week away. We'll be 1 chat away from the new program. My meeting is not on Sunday, so I will not be talking in detail about the new program this coming Sunday, even though some of you will have already attended a meeting. We will not be talking about it until the following Sunday, which is the 50th chat. And again, that one, remember, maybe in Orlando, might be at Disney Springs in Orlando. So, do y'all want me to get Dusty real quick? Because I know a couple people last week were like, we didn't get to see Dusty. We didn't see him. Hey, Dusty. Come here, buddy. Come here. Get off the couch. Come here. Dusty. I may have to go get him. Hold, please. Just a second. Come on. Hey, buddy. I'm coming right back. Oh. Wow, he was snoozing. He was snoring. Okay, so last week a couple of people said, we didn't get to see Dusty. What's Dusty? Who is Dusty? This is Dusty. And as you can see, I woke him up from a nap. So he was very tired. He's been riding around with Daddy all day and visiting with Alan all day while we had the baby shower. So, but anyway, this is Dusty. So I'm gonna tell everybody good night. You all have an awesome week. Oh, and Tedder said, how is Dusty feeling? He's feeling much better. So just like all of us humans, they put him on, well, he wasn't on, they didn't put him on a low-fat diet. They just said to stop giving him, and you can see the yawn, how tired he is, but to stop feeding him so much greasy human food that it was actually could cause some major problems. So look how sleepy he is. He's so tired. He's so tired. But anyway, yeah, so we had to quit giving him chicken skin, and we had to quit sneaking him bacon, chicken nuggets, you know, things like that. So think about it, what it's doing to a cockapoo's tummy, what it's doing to our tummies. But anyway, so everybody have an awesome week. Get your homework done. And if you go ahead and get it done here, then you are ahead of the game. But anyway, I'm going to tell you all, I'm going to set Dusty down. And I'm going to tell you all good night, and everybody have a great week, and I will see you next week. Yes, and Debbie, so they put Primera on a low-fat diet. Yep, see, same thing for Dusty, same thing. Okay, good night, everybody. I'll see you next week. Y'all be good. I will not get the transcripts up tonight. That'll be tomorrow night. I'm headed to bed when we get done. Anyway, good night. Everybody go back and watch the football game. I know Casey's getting back at it, and I can see a couple of you all are too, so good night. Have an awesome week. Bye.